Year 12s. In this video, I'll outline a few strategies to help you do your best at VCE Psych. Tip 1. Learn your definitions. This is a really important part of doing well in VCE Psychology. If you're not directly asked to recite a definition in an exam, you'll be asked to apply a concept to a particular situation, which will be worth around 4 marks, in which 1 mark will usually be rewarded for a definition. In terms of learning your definitions, it's important that you learn them periodically and consistently, and make sure you consult the study design to give you a good idea of what terms are required. A good way to learn your definitions is to put them on study cards, with a definition on one side and the word on the other, and get others to test you. If you're too shy to get others to test you or no one is available, try a website like Quizlet, an online flashcard website where you can create cue cards and get the computer to test you. Tip 2. Applying the knowledge you learn in psychology to help with other areas of the course. By doing this, not only are you applying things that you learned that helps you consolidate these topics, you are learning other topics simultaneously. It's a win-win situation. For example, in Unit 3, you learn about methods of manipulating memory, including acronyms, acrostics, and narrative chaining. So use them to learn other parts of the course. For example, you can use the acronyms FTOP equals MAVs, which describe the parts of the brain and their relative functions in an anti-clockwise order of their location in the brain. Frontal lobe equals motor, temporal lobe equals auditory, occipital lobe equals visual, and parietal lobe equals somatosensory. Tip 3. Create mind maps. Make mind maps to help you identify all the areas you need to study and identify the links that exist between different concepts. Prepare mind maps for every area of study upon completing it, every unit, and then once all the content is completed, create a large mind map capturing VCE Psychology in its entirety as a starting point for your exam revision. Tip 4. Use tables when making comparisons. Compare and contrast questions are popular in exams, and using tables is a great way to quickly identify differences and similarities between different concepts. The best part about it is that you are able to use tables in the exam in these types of questions. So if you've studied off a table, you can just reproduce the relevant part of the table on the exam without having to worry about developing a response. A comparison between classical and operant conditioning would make a great table. Tip 5. Apply what you learn to scenarios. Sometimes you'll get questions that ask you to apply psychological principles to particular scenarios. It's important that you don't give generic rote-learn responses, but rather use the information you've been given and apply your psychological knowledge to the situation. If you do that, provided you have made no content errors, you will get full marks. There is no better way to practice than applying the knowledge you learn to different examples, whether they be real life or made up. Tip 6. Approach research scenario questions methodically. When answering research scenario questions, go through them methodically. Section C of the exam will involve research scenarios. It'll be worth 15 marks, so it's important that you know how to answer them properly. A good idea would be to create a flowchart considering different aspects of the experiment. For example, you would first examine the sample and ask yourself, was it a random sample? Was it representative of the population and not of a convenient sample? Was the sample randomly assigned? If the answer is yes to all these questions, then the sampling method appears to be sound. Then you move on to the research design, the allocation of participants to groups, data collection and data analysis, and similarly ask questions to determine their feasibility. Each aspect could, in a flowchart, have its own box with its relative questions and be reproduced on exam day, or in a SAC, to help you determine whether research is able to be generalized to the population, provided it has met the criteria set out in your flowchart. Tip 7. Complete practice exams. It is really important that you complete practice exams under the specified conditions on the front of the paper with no distractions. Doing this will allow you to judge what aspects of the exam you are good at and what aspects you need to work on. There are exams dating back to 2002 available from the VCAR website, and exams from 2013 onwards provide the current study design of VCE Psychology. At Engage, we also offer some great free practice exams on our website. It is important that you mark your exams harshly, and if you don't trust yourself to mark the exams harsh enough, give the marking guide to someone else to mark it for you. Don't be despondent if when you calculate your mark it's not what you wanted. That's what practice exams are for. Learn from your mistakes so that you do not make them again. Make sure you read the examiner's report so you know exactly how marks were awarded in past exams and where other students went wrong so you can learn from their mistakes. These 7 tips will hopefully put you in good stead to succeed in VCE Psychology. Thanks for watching and happy studying.